individual response that we have constantly done on the big question with this particular series of issues on how they feel about the country and what is their personal responsibility in moving the nation forward. And my guest this morning is Saratu Haruna, a graduate of computer science, working with ICT department at the Federal University of Lafia, Nasarawa State, MNT, the Nigerian Women Trust Fund on ending violence against women and girls. And yes, I'm going to be having a conversation with Saratu Haruna this morning. Good morning, Saratu. In the all that has been happening.
No, I can't receive. So far, we don't have any protest in Nasarawa State.
Okay.
And
I'm also reading your profile this morning. You being the mentee of the NWTF on ending violence against women and girls. What do you make up of the current situation that many say the whole country is actually feeling what exactly has been happening in the last 2 weeks? But how have you been? Have you been able to sit down and reflect on what has been going on?
It's I want to say it's really unfortunate. Actually, as personally, and we saw people coming out to point out some issues that are affecting us as a country. And of course, having issues of killings, issues of shooting, innocent protesters in the country.
Okay.
Because we are already having a dwindling image out there. And then within our country, we've seen series of protests in other countries. But all they do is to make sure they drive their point home and make sure that they are being given a listening ear.
Okay.
But here in Nigeria, it's unfortunate that we have some bad eggs that infiltrated the protests and started destroying people, killing and stealing things, even for the masses. When you say they are protesting that government should do something so that the masses can have a life.
Yes.
And then some people will still go back to destroy the little life the masses are depending on. It's really unfortunate. I don't think any country out there will take us serious. Again, I feel that the government's response on this was not really on time.
Okay.
Because personally, I feel the government would say, okay, what are your grievances? Put them down. Create a forum, sit down and talk to these leaders of this protest. And then release a press release out there. Actually, the whole thing escalated, and then they started killing and destroying properties.
Okay.
And then we discovered that even within the protesters, they are fighting against each other. Then you begin to wonder whose interest are they doing all this.
You mentioned something I'd like to quickly leverage on about the response of the government coming in late. What do you think could be? What do you think could have led to the reason why the government responded late to the demands of these protesters?
I'm not in a position to actually dictate their mind or know why they responded late, but I felt they were not proactive on that issue. When they talk about it fast, quickly government came out and issue a statement disbanding SARS.
Yes.
At least to an extent they did something.
Okay.
But the other demands, because I follow them on social media, and I discovered there are other demands. It will not take anything to calm these people down. Okay, come, let's talk. Dialogue. Dialogue.
Yeah. A lot of people talked about dialogue.
It will not happen in a day.
Yes.
This change we are agitating for may not happen in a day. But there must be a starting point.
Okay.
There must be a forum to even start addressing these issues. And that is what I felt on my part, that the government were not on time.
Let's talk about dialogue for a moment. When we look at the administration and how they have thrived and how they have worked, have we actually seen dialogue being the most effective means of meeting the demands of the people? Take using Nigerian labor as an example and seeing how dialogue has really not yielded any meaningful fruit with regards to ensuring that they meet the demands of the people. What are the other strategies that we can begin to employ? And if dialogue is the only way, what are the effective ways, or what are we missing out when we talk about dialogue?
Well, I personally feel, when you refer to labor issue, this protest is beyond labor. this protest is something that was nationally, not just labor. Even those that are not working were part of this protest. But I feel this is the first time a protest like this is happening in Nigeria of this magnitude. I mean,
Sure.
so I feel if we had continued with this protest peacefully, it will get to a point where government will have no option than to call for dialogue. And I really a change that people will see and feel. It's high time we begin to enforce these things. And if the protest was peaceful, I'm sure that international organizations will come in. If we had continued peacefully for some time, of course, it will get to a point where they want to.
What do you make up of what happened at Lekki, the Lekki situation? What do you make up of that situation? Because until that very Tuesday night, 20th of October 2020, the protest was peaceful till that very night.
Well, I wasn't in Lekki, and honestly, I've seen series of videos where some are saying there was a killing, some are saying there was no killing, some people were saying there was gunshots, shooting, up, different versions, various versions. But what I'm saying is that if there was a killing in Lekki, why not organize these things, publish, let's see the cops. Let's see families of those that lost their loved ones come out and speak. You understand? Because everybody is not in Lekki. Of course, those that are in Lekki, even those that are in Lekki, there are various versions to the stories.
Okay.
So if you're not there, you can't come out authoritatively and say you saw what you did not see. This is what happened. So they should come out, take a decisive decision. Go and meet those people that love their people. If they meet them, organize, and then bring out something, a press release, something that people can hold on that, yes, this will happen. But as I'm in Nasarawa State, very far away from Lagos.
Yes.
I only rely on things I see online. So I can't say much about anything.
Let me get your perspective towards the current situation around the social media bill. What is your perspective to it? What are the things? Do you feel that we should regulate the social media?
As an individual, I feel everyone has a freedom to express their opinion. Those that are making sense will not have the right to say whatever they need to say to help others.
Okay.
I don't buy that idea.
All right, thank you.
If I post something on my timeline and you go through it and you discover that it's not something you want, you can pass. But at least I am airing my opinion.
Okay.
So you shouldn't be restricted, yes.
All right, thank you very much. 28 minutes past 9. This is the big question on Women Radio 91.7. The conversation this morning is saddled around my pledge tonight is Saratu Haruna, who is NWTF mentee on ending violence against women and girls. What is the current situation, Saratu, with regards to, with regards to violence against women and girls in Nasarawa State?
Well, I think this year we've had the most the greatest number of cases of rape, violence, and so on. And I think it's not just Nasarawa State; it's all over. And I think the lockdown also contributed to these cases because they said the idle heart is a devil's workshop.
Okay.
Many people are staying at home and then they begin to see things that will motivate or, cause them to begin to do things that are not proper.
Okay.
Like in Nasarawa State, honestly, we had cases of rapes. Minor children of 3 months, 1 year, 2 years, being violated sexually. And it's pathetic. And that is why we're staging campaigns, sensitizing parents to try and protect their children. Like in Nasarawa State, what we are battling with is the issue of not coming out to speak out. Even parents are afraid to come out and speak when their children are violated, which is not right.
What do you think has led to this particular culture? Because one of the core values he had women radio is using radio as a medium to break the silent culture.
Yes.
What do you think has been the reason for this consistent trend of people refusing or not wanting to speak up about this particular issue that is a menace in the society?
Well, I think we have many reasons, but some I want to list here is the issue of intimidation. We've had cases where somebody will cry out, my daughter has been raped, and then they go to the police, and before you know it, the police will even call some of them aside and tell them this person is influential, you have to just go home. They will not give them, at times they give them some token, just go and take your child to the hospital and take care of her. Don't, if you follow this case already, you will lose because you can't stand. And then poverty too. When you go to the authority, before you know it, they are turning up everything against you. And poverty too, because some people, before they even cry out, the culprits will just go and grab the parent and then they will not say anything.
Right.
Again, the issue of stigmatization. They are scared that when I cry out and I tell people that my daughter is raped, they will stigmatize against her and so on. So many factors. But I think we need to do something about this, and that is why we are holding a campaign on the 8th of this month or next month to create awareness.
Can you enlighten us about the campaign?
Okay, we have a community in Port, where our Masarati Polytechnic is resident. We have a community there where we intend to go. We are gathering women. We are using the women leaders in that area, and we are what we call Nyangwa, people that oversee the area, because this is a student area, and we that so many atrocities are going on there, rapes and abuses. So we intend to launch our campaign there on the 8th of November to talk to them about their right to speak out, their right to report rape. They are ready to take up their cases. When there are cases like that, even if you don't have money, cry out.
What is your body trying to use because you're speaking to people in help these women trust you enough to say, okay, yes, we want to speak up about these issues? Because I had been in a sitting where we saw some of these women trying to not speak about it because of, like you said, the stigma. Even in the midst of being around just a women conversation, we saw women still refusing to talk about it. They feel this woman knows me, and then I'm concerned about the approach you are planning to use to be able to get these women to see reasons why it's important for them to speak up, and that there are people that are ready to take up their cases.
Okay, some of the approaches we intend to use is like, I'm from Nasarawa State. I think the fact that they are seeing somebody from their place, bold enough to come out and speak to them about these things. And then we also have people that have